Avatar: Fire and Ash, the third installment in the Avatar series, takes place right after Way of the Water, as we return back to Pandora to immerse in a new adventure with the Marine-turned-Na'vi leader, Jake Sully, and his family. Hey movie peeps, thank you for watching NibbleNFlix, the podcast for Snacks Me Cinema. I'm your host, Jeff Reed, and in this video we're going to be munching on the movie Avatar: Fire and Ash. And this will be a non-spoiler review, so don't worry about anything being spoiled if you haven't seen it already. But if you have seen it already, let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts of the film. And if you haven't already, hit the like button to help us out to get more eyes on the video, and subscribe to the channel so you get notified when new content is up in the channel. So now, does this movie bring something new, like a new element to the film, or is it just the same old Avatar film? Let's talk about it. So one of the things I really want to know was James Cameron was going to do for this film, and was he going to bring some kind of new wrinkle, new element, whatever he was going to do to make it totally different from Way of Water. And after watching this film, I can confidently say that the structure is exactly the same. And there's a reason why that is, because he actually wrote the script, and the script was so long that he decided that he had to split up the script into two films, which is the first part we saw a couple years ago was Way of Water, and now the second part of the script is Fire and Ash. And it kind of makes sense why the beats, the similar tone, the same kind of structure of Way of Water is in this film. So that is why nothing really is new when it comes to this film. So if you like the previous two films, the first Avatar film and Way of Water, I can see you liking this film because it's the same structure. But if you did not like the first two films, I just don't see you liking this film at all. Like, nothing here is going to change your mind to where you're going to say, oh wow, I'm an Avatar fan now. No, nothing's going to do that. If you don't like it already, you're not going to like it. But if you like it, you are going to enjoy this film. So now I'm going to want to give you like what I thought was good, what I thought was bad, and also the final score. So let's get into it. So the film focused more on character development and the world building, like I said earlier. And it actually dive deeper and answers some of the questions from Way of Water when it comes to some characters and some aspects that we're doing in that movie. So it touches on a lot of topics. It talks about family, how, dealing with death. It talks about, building relationships, basically trying to fit in, being outcast, how capitalism is destroying or harming an environment. Like, there's a lot going on. And what that does, it draws a lot of emotion out of these characters, and it makes it feel more deeper than the previous film. Because in the last film, we didn't really get a lot of answers. We see a lot of questions, but we didn't get an answer. This film actually answers some of those questions we've been thinking about, like what's going on with Spider, what's going on with Kira. And we get more of like the world building and understanding the whole Na'vi lore, how their tribe thinks, how they treat certain things, what do they believe in, why they believe certain things, how they function as a unit, when it comes to both groups of the tribes. Like, we actually see more when it comes to the new fire tribe that we're introduced in this film. We kind of get an understanding. We don't get a lot of time with them, but we get an understanding of how they operate as well. So it was kind of good to get more lore and more understanding why the Na'vi people live the way they do. And even though the story and some of the things do feel predictable at times, but just the whole build up of everything I thought was executed very well. The visuals in this film is absolutely stunning, just like the previous films, but it seemed like the technology just gets better and better with each film. And this one, even though you got the color palette and you have all the crazy designs that he puts in these films, because man, none of this stuff is real. This was what really trips me out, and what I really enjoy watching this film is the visual aspect of these films. And knowing that he shot at a higher frame rate as well. And you kind of see it sometimes when he has like a live action character, kind of like Spider or some humans in there. You kind of see the difference, and it is off-putting a little bit, but it's not enough, a lot to where you notice it. Like, you really have to understand where you're looking at to understand that when a certain shot is at a high frame rate, that it doesn't look right. Like, you don't have that kind of eye, you're not going to notice. However, what he did with the designs and all the stuff he was doing with the color palettes, all the creatures and everything, and how more real they look than the previous film, which is ridiculous, is just absolutely gorgeous. And it just shows the creativity that what James Cameron has in his mind. And he always does an amazing job when it comes to like the entire production of his films, and like the quality was fantastic. Like when it comes to like the action pieces, you feel everything. When it comes to the animals talking and whatever was going on, you feel and everything that this movie was portraying when it comes to sound design. I thought it was absolutely amazing what he did that. And just seeing the different scopes that he was doing, trying to do the world building. And he always does a great job visually building the world. And he does a great job here. You see the difference when you see the tribes in this movie too, when you see the sky people and their base and stuff like that. It's just amazing how James Cameron can actually, spit whatever is in his head into paper or onto a computer, and just, whatever this technology he's using is just unbelievable. And he's always pushing the narrative when it comes to technology and how to make movies look fantastic and beautiful. And he's really the only reason I would watch a 3D movie. I don't like 3D at all, but if it's a James Cameron movie, especially Avatar, I'm going to watch it because what he does with this is absolutely fantastic. And you can add that with IMAX as well. It's like a double whammy of goodness. So just the visuals, the sound design, the whole production, everything behind the camera, editing, all that stuff was just absolutely fantastic when they making and creating this world of Pandora. It's just absolutely beautiful. One of the things that I always had an issue with about the Avatar films is the characters just did not feel, I don't know, I had no interest in them. I didn't care about them at all. And watching Fire and Ash and see the development of they did with Colonel Corwich has been definitely made me feel like he's one of the most interesting, or probably the most interesting character in the entire franchise for this whole entire arc. He started off with like typical villain that, twirly mustache, I'm going to kill everybody, blah, blah, blah. But now seeing him, his arc through Way of Water and now in Fire and Ash, and see what he's becoming, and he's become more sentimental now. He's becoming someone that he's trying to figure out himself, like who he is as a, individual. Is he the same person as he was when he was human? Now that he is kind of like a Navi type of clone, basically, is he a different person? And you see the inner battles that he's having with himself, with inside, especially when he's dealing with Spider. I thought those scenes was very well. And you see the confliction that he has inside. And I thought that was a very good development for his character, which is why I think he's probably the most interesting character in the entire franchise. And I just think what they're going to do with him in the fourth film, I'm very interested to see what they're going to do. I'm willing to go and watch another 3-hour film. Hopefully not that long. Please, not. please. There's shorter than 3 hours this time. I'm willing to go to see Avatar 4 just to see what they're going to do with him, because I think he's the most interesting character in his entire franchise. And also when it comes to Valrang, who's one of the main villains, she's the leader of the Fire Tribe. She was absolutely fabulous in this film. When she hits the screen, you feel her aura. She is no joke. She's menacing. She is very dark, very aggressive, unpredictable. You don't know what she's going to do. And I just love watching her because she has so much charisma, so much character with her, so much going on that you just have to watch her while she's on screen because you just don't know what she's going to do. She's that captivating. And this is so interesting that you have characters who are heroes who are just less interested, less interesting than the villains. I find that very, very interesting. And maybe they do it on purpose so they have a stronger arc when it comes to the next couple of films. But yeah, those two characters alone, maybe to say something about me. I don't know. Maybe I like villains. Sometimes I kind of do. But when you humanize and make the villains very interesting and very fun to watch, it's just very captivating to see them go against the heroes. And finally, the last thing I liked a lot about this film is the action sequences. I thought all the action sequences were really good. And this is where the movie shines. Like, this is where James Cameron just cooks all the time. And this is why I like watching his films. Even if everything else is not going that I don't like, I at least know the visuals and also the action pieces are going to be chef kiss, and he delivers again. It was just so amazing, especially the final fight scene, the final battle in this movie felt grand, it felt epic. The things they were able to do in this film was just amazing. And it didn't matter if the battle was in the air or the battle was underwater. It didn't matter where the fight sequence was at. Like, you got two guys fighting. Even the hand-on fighting was absolutely like spot on in this movie. And it's motion capture. Like, you think it would miss some things when it comes to trying to capture all the fight sequences when it comes to hand-to-hand fighting. Especially, like I said, in the final battle, when it comes to Coleridge and Jake, like, that fight sequence was absolutely amazing. It looks actually 10 times better than what it did in Way of Water. And just how smooth and how, like, flawless it looked while they were fighting. And they were doing some real moves too. Like, it wasn't like, shaky cam, nothing. No, they nice wide camera shot watching these two battle it out fighting, and it just looks phenomenal. And this is where James Cameron cooks, and he cooks again in this film. And this is one of the reasons why, if you're willing to sit 3 hours, you're going to be entertained when it comes to the visuals, comes to some of the story development, and most importantly, the action sequences where James Cameron cooks all the time. You're going to get this in this film. The bad about this film is that it doesn't bring any new element of value. There's no added value to this film at all. Like I said before, it's the second part of the script. And, if you're coming in, not been really a fan of the previous films, and also you're a big fan of these films, and you're looking for something brand new, you're not going to get that in this film, like I said before, because this is basically answering all the questions that we had in Way of Water. And I can see that being frustrating for either, viewers who are just trying to find a way to get into Pandora and enjoy it, is like everybody else who enjoyed these films, but it just doesn't do that. It doesn't bring out no new elements or nothing new to the table to where that you can actually grab onto some new fans and new viewers to actually start liking these films. And it also could be frustrating to people who are looking for a little bit more when it comes to these films. Like, they expect, James Cameron film to, kick it up a notch a little bit in each film. And this one doesn't really do it. And even though the technology is a lot better, and some of the things they were doing, there are some new things in this film, but not a lot to really add value to your experience. Like, if you're just okay with the visuals and awesome action pieces, and if you okay with the villains being more interesting than the heroes, then yeah, you will find value with that. But if that's not really your jive, then I could see some people having difficulty enjoying this film. And finally, the length on the film. The movie clocks in like 3 hours and 15 minutes. It's too long. And it just feels like some scenes are just forced and random, and it's just there just to show spectacle sometimes rather than push the story along. And there's times in this movie where you see the characters do the awe moment where they're looking around at a certain spot and they're like, oh, look at that. Whoa. Hey, look what's going on down there. But it's too much. Like, that's what the audience is there. We're the ones that are supposed to be in awe. Let the story or the scene just play out. We don't need the characters to do the same thing. And they just do that a lot. And sometimes when you have these long movies, the editing feels kind of off sometimes, and it does feel jumpy, or the editing it goes to one scene another. This doesn't feel right. Like, that cut from one end of a scene that starts beginning of another scene, like the editing part of that just doesn't feel right. And you feel that when you got a movie that's 3 hours long and more, and it just feels like, I feel this movie could have been at least 25 minutes or 30 minutes shorter, just to make it a little bit more smoother, to try to get rid of those aw-shuck moments as well. I thought they were unnecessary. They don't need to. They lived in Pandora. They should they already know everything's beautiful. They live there. We don't. We don't live there. We should have the aw-shuck moments while we're watching it on screen, while the movie's being played, while the scene's going on. We don't need the characters doing that. Let's just go. Wrap it up, Jake.
Atlanta, I was like, Gina, number one, why are you calling me up trying to confuse me? You know Spellman's in Atlanta too. Second of all, I'm vacillating here trying to...
With the Wrap It Up box, you've got that same power right in your pocket.
Wrap it up. So the score of this film, the snack worthiness that I have for this film, is 3.5 snacks out of 5. And overall, it was a decent film. I actually had a good time watching this film. It was very beautiful to watch. This film, I love the action pieces. When it comes to some of the characters, like I said before, the heroes, Jake Sully, I don't know. He's just, I don't know. I'm not interested. He's not boring. I don't hate him. He's just not interesting. And the villains were more interesting than the heroes in this movie. Even though you do have a nice arc when it comes to Spider and Kira, it just seems like I don't know what it is when it comes to the main characters, the heroes of this film. I just haven't really been a fan of them. But I think it's a good movie to go watch out this weekend and take some family with if you have time to do it. But definitely bring some tasty treats with you to enjoy the film. Don't drink a lot because you may have to go pee. So just remember, just be smart when you're drinking, whatever you're doing. Just be careful. This movie is long in the tooth. And also, thank you for putting up with me. That was a cough that I just did because I'm still getting over my cold. So I appreciate you even spending some time while I'm trying to review this movie and still under the weather. I appreciate you watching this video. And stay tuned. I will be doing an account review. I saw the movie pretty early. And I will drop that on Tuesday. So come back and watch that video as well. But till then, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you taking out your time to watch this video. And till then, keep munching, keep watching fun movies, and keep it real. And then I'll see you later. Take care and goodbye.